Sorry, I'm just playing. All right, look. It's
I was
Talk
like,
Lately.
wait a minute.
What'd you say?
I was like, wait a minute.
I told you it's gonna be a show about nothing and about everything. Um, it's Talk Lately right here on Big Exposed Radio. Tuesday, January the 30th at 7:19 p.m. So we're extra late today. Well, we were late because one, I couldn't get my mic value levels to rise and fall the way they should be, but I think we actually sound okay right now. Um, but we have a couple things that we're going to talk about initially. One is that Megan Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj beef, or whatever stupidness it is,
Mm.
and E. Jean Carroll. We definitely got to talk about her. Um, she's like my favorite person right now. And then
You definitely got to put me down with the GN Carol because that's saying a lot. If that's your favorite person,
what'd you say?
I said, and that's saying a lot. You definitely got to put me down with Miss Curl
Well,
and what's
that's
going
she's
on.
the one that just sued Trump and won
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
$83 million.
Miss Curl.
She's like
Oh yeah, that's right.
giving me life these days because she's winning in a world that doesn't seem to want to let other people win when it comes to him.
And he just don't want to shut up. And that's
Baby.
all she asking.
Don't talk
Maybe
about
he,
it.
maybe he'll learn now.
That's all she wants. She just wants you
And
not to.
and it's getting real treacherous because anybody that's in it with him and far as his followers, like they're giving like real vicious, like wickedness.
Right.
It's not given like like they doing shit, Money,
And they're
bomb
not.
threats and all of that.
So I was trying to give you guys a break from, how I tore your asses up last week about not voting and not about not trying to
Or so
participate
you,
in this year's vote.
or so you
Um,
think they don't care, but you did your due diligence.
I needed to
That's
get it off my
right.
chest, and I
That's
did.
right.
Using somebody else's words that they said to me and going off of that. But this week I'm gonna go a little bit easier on you as far as it's concerned with the whether you want to vote or not. I mean, at this point, I don't like. I like my fans. I like the people that listen to my show. I do love them, but I don't like humans, and there's a lot that goes into that with y'all behavior. Like me and Chancey had a real good
You
we had a real good
you talking
conversation
about
last night.
people like human, like you is really an alien, but I get
I
it.
feel
I
like I'm
get
not a
it.
part of this. I feel like I'm not a part of y'all
I
or anything
get
that
it,
has
but
to do
you
with anything
are.
that y'all did because I can't get with what y'all the hypocritical nature that is human nature.
Right. And I
It's
get it,
so
but you
hypocritical.
are. You know what I mean? And
I'm
I
not.
get it
I'm not.
though.
I'm
Yeah.
never going to be fit. I think my blood is different.
Ah, you are human.
I can't get with it because
All in all.
I don't. I keep trying to find where my bones match your bones, or but my hypocriticalness matches your hypocriticalness, and like I can't be hypocritical. Maybe I'm not using the right word. I can't be the same as you and then try to be, but strive to be better when you don't want to be better either.
Mm-hmm.
Because it takes all of us to be better. You see what I'm saying? It takes all of us to be better to make a better world. I
Yes.
can't be the only one practicing what I preach and you're not. Because
Absolutely.
it doesn't work it can't work out that way because we live
It's
together.
absolutely. And then too many people been, so like how you've been talking the last couple of weeks, it goes hand in hand with one, not being clear on what you want, and then also not knowing the way to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So even the things that when we do know what we want, we still don't even know collectively how to get there. You get what I'm saying? It's still so much tension in that process too. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what we were talking about. We be seeing it like, just services or anything for a city, for example. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's there and it's there for a benefit and it's supposed to work a certain way. But unfortunately, when humans, I got some part of the alien tribe too, but no, I always say I'm a spiritual being and a human, you know what I mean? Experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something else, Monny. It's something else.
It really, really is.
Ah, and you are sick.
Child. I
We
just
say,
don't know.
don't even associate me.
I can't remember what that thing is.
Is that what you really? Is that what you really turned off about? That you have to be like, and I get your whole point, but that you have to be associated with it. It be part of that too, don't it?
I'm no, I'm sorry, I hit that sidetracked over here because I'm trying to figure out how that thing works where you tag everybody in your followers list. Isn't it at followers?
Yes, I think it's at followers, and then I think it also might be what at highlight or something. I don't know,
That's
Moni.
what I thought,
You
but
know, I gotta get more in tune with all of that stuff
I
on
know
there.
the reason why I said I wanted to try it out because everybody always does it to. I always receive everybody else's when they do it. When
Right,
I do it, it
right.
don't want to work. I
And
don't
I be
understand.
thinking it's something specific to me because it'll be like such and such mention you.
Right, like they talking to me, and then I go click on it, and it's something somebody else's video, which I don't mind being a part of that. When you tag me and stuff like that, but I just wish it'd be more interesting. It's just be boring stuff. It'd be a lot of boring stuff. Sometimes I just don't be giving a damn. I try. But what was you saying just now? I'm sorry. I got sidetracked.
And I forgot. No, I was saying, no, I'm just joking,
We're
Money.
talking about that human stuff.
I'm just joking. See, that's I'm
We were
just
still talking
joking.
about that human stuff, I'm sure.
Yes, we were still on the human stuff, and I was saying that it also is a point I think too would may irritate you too is that you have to
You
be
know what?
associated with it. I was saying,
Going
is
into
it
the
that
same
too?
conversation though, the conversation that we had yesterday,
What was that?
last night, about immigration.
Mm.
That was a good conversation that I wish we was live having because that was a great conversation because this thing called human nature, where we feel as though we have a right, because it's not a right. These are only your own man-made laws that are preventing them people at that southern border from crossing over that border. You forget, you continuously forget that you cannot own this land because this land is part of a globe, a earth, a planet. And we're still fighting with these people at this border, trying not to let them cross this land that we keep trying to act like we own because we made it so by our own man-made laws, which defy logic because those animals own their land. Then that in that case, the animals owned it first. If that's the logic we're going to go off of, the animals owned it first, and we continuously displace them.
All the time.
Are you
But
going
at
to
the
stop
same
them
time,
from roaming? The question is, are you going to stop them from roaming the land as nature provides?
and that's a little bit what's going on because as far as them trying to get over here in a situation where, when we talking about being displaced, when they try to come and do that, like, right, that's how it's just different for me now how I look at it. Like, right, they treating them people like animals. Like,
And
what
my
really
problem
is
with that
this?
is where do you get off? Where do you get the right to tell people, humans, animals, mammals, that they are not allowed to move amongst this planet any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, like why they can't put their foot over on this land?
Why?
What?
Exactly.
Why?
What if
Because
they're not even coming here? What if their plan wasn't to come here? And like I was saying to you yesterday, their plan was to go to Canada. Their plan was to actually walk over to Russia or, get up to Alaska so they could take a ferry over to Russia or something like that. What if their intent wasn't to come here, but they have to walk across this land to get to where they're going?
Right.
Why
And
isn't
I
that a
ain't saying
possibility? Why isn't that able to happen without them having to have these restrictions, these governmental restrictions on allowing
right.
people to walk freely on this planet? If
Like
you go
why?
over to Europe, if you go over to Europe or any African country, there is not a border set up like this. You can walk through the desert and get to anywhere you want to go to.
That's something.
You can enter cities any way you want to. It's not like that over there. It's only here that we are trying to restrict people from moving freely, especially into a country that says we welcome everyone.
The land of the free.
And we don't even hold up our own principles.
Hmm. And
It's
that
just
free is
stupidity
labeled after
at its
so
best.
many different bondages.
Because the restrictions on whether somebody gets a job here or not only can lie in the employer. You see what I'm saying? That's where it stops at. If the employer says, no, we can't hire you because you're not a legal resident, then that's what should take place. If they say they're going to hire you and hire you under the table, that's illegal. If that's one of your laws and it's illegal, then you have to prosecute them in that way. But not allowing people to roam freely, that's just ridiculous.
No, but that's just crazy in itself because the issue is with that is that, them people from over there, they want to work.
That's why this border conversation, I think, it's hard. It's a horrible conversation to have when you're trying to tell people they can't move on a land that you actually can't own. It's not like you can pick up Texas and take it somewhere else. It's a landmass. It's there. It's grounded. It's not going anywhere. You don't own this. And again, like we was having a conversation. The conversation actually started off with religion, but I'm not doing that here today. Everybody knows that I don't do. If you listen to this show before, you already know I don't do the religion thing. That's not my thing. I can
God,
have that bull.
God bless
That's
them.
not mine.
God bless them.
But at the same time, what I'm going to say
God
is
bless you. God love
this
you.
planet belongs to all of us. We have nowhere else to go. This is the only place in this universe where we can breathe. And even when we enter into space, what do we have to take with us when we go into space? The air that is only produced on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
So you only can go so far before you run out of air to breathe.
Living on
This is the only
luxury.
place in this entire galaxy that supports life of us, our lives. So to act like this on this planet when we should be a community of everybody supporting everybody and everybody living to support this planet, the only place we can live and stop killing it, is ridiculous. I hate being on this soapbox, but it's true. That's not true.
It's the truth because and that's how it is, Money. It's like when you're talking about one thing, it just leads you on to something else.
But this is why I don't like
But
y'all.
it all is connected, and everything you saying, really, you definitely are making a point, and everything is still connected to each other. So it's like when you're talking about one thing that we got to be associated with by default. Me being a spiritual being.
I mean, it's just every single day,
being.
day in and day out. I just look around and it's not like I'm not participating in the farce that we live every day. But when you look around every day and you see the changes that could be made to make things better for everyone, and they're not being done because of either politics, the money, the capitalistic nature of this country, the absurdity of what you think you own. This is my land. This is my country. This is my freedom. This is my this and this is my that. It's absurd. It's absurd because we all there shouldn't be a poor because there's no reason for there to be a poor in this country. Everyone should be helping everyone succeed. Because if we all did that, we probably all would be a little bit happier. There probably wouldn't be a sad bone in your body unless it was a funeral. And it's sad. It's just sad, period. Like with the other conversation,
it's the way the world's set up, right?
We come together to actually find a way to get away from fossil fuels. We know it's killing the planet. You know it's killing the planet. That is your consensus. Everyone knows that the use of gasoline, fossil fuels, oil, all of that you're pulling from out this planet is killing the planet. You know this. That science has been solidified for decades. You know this. And you've seen more proof of that when we had the pandemic and nobody was going anywhere. No cars was being driven, how the ozone layer healed. But yet, as soon as we got back on the road, it opened right back up. You put that wound right back in place. But you know this, but no one else is thinking, okay, why don't we put all our scientists together instead of having them doing all this for capitalistic nature? Again, here we go with that capitalist word. And capitalism, how that's ruining every fucking thing. And then we go back to that, and then you think about how we couldn't come together to figure out and bring our scientists together. All the people that came together, that came together and made a vaccine for a virus that was killing millions. Okay. They got together to do that. Why can't they get together and come up with an alternative to fossil fuels to keep our vehicles running? Something cleaner. Why?
Why?
Because of money. A problem. That's a problem. And why are we not problem solving that problem?
Why?
Because y'all working for the rich, right? Y'all want to keep the rich maintaining the rich so they can actually look down upon everybody else. But they're not looking down on me because I don't like any of you.
Right.
So you
And
can't
it's
look down on
dangerous.
somebody that don't even fucking care about you.
Right. And even getting deeper than that, you know, even far as the job and everything that it takes you know, and all that stuff is dangerous before it even comes to be produced, you know, for what we're using it for.
Look, so you
It's
got me
that
all
whole
in the TG.
process.
I didn't even introduce myself. Hi, I'm Monny.
Right. Just like that whole process. That's why a lot of people, you know, you talk about the oil, a lot of people are not into jewelry and different stuff like that because some people feel the same way. Like, you know, why?
You set me right off. I didn't even introduce myself. That's Chas'Real, the lady.
Didn't you?
From You Better Live on Thursdays at 7 p.m.
Something about what you say? Nothing, but about everything.
Yes.
So that was good.
The
That was
motto of this station is our
everything.
view, and we're letting you in on it, right? So this is
Yeah.
my view, and I'm letting you in on my view and how I see the dysfunction that we call life every single day living in the United States of America. It's absolutely absurd. The word is absurd. We live absurdly every single damn day. And we just participate in it every single day. Going to go buy gas, going to go buy stuff to create trash for the landfills, going to go act like we're going to go recycle when, you know, damn well only 10% of the stuff that we recycle is being recycled. So we do this absurd thing every single day, and we know we doing it wrong. We know we fucking up. We know we destroying our home. We know we doing all these things, and we still don't fix it. But we got these things that we want to argue about. Crime. Another thing that's in human nature that's never going to be resolved. You're never going to stop crime. I don't know what you think you're going to live in where there's never going to be crime. I don't know where you think you live.
Okay.
You can't stop crime because you can't stop human nature. Human nature, you built this. This is what you created. Greed.
That's what I was just now saying. I said, we say the world is crazy, right? But it's definitely and it's truly influenced by the people in it. So, so what do you call crazy? And while we was talking and you was going off and just like, far as nobody should be poor, like what they say, the people who got everything tend to appreciate nothing. And the people who have nothing tend to appreciate everything. How about it? That's what America. Fuck the city. Forget the city for its crime. Just the United States. Period. This is what you Americans. We talk about this is why.
How do you fix a situation like this without actually tearing up the whole entire system and starting over? If only we had look, and I don't want this to be
that's not possible.
I want another volcano eruption that will create a new landmass.
And my God and Savior, who you don't believe in, promised he would never do that, but that was his thinking.
But if we have a nice giant volcano, I don't want no people to be killed or anything like that. But another volcano that would create a new landmass
What is
ocean somewhere. I want to move there and let's start from scratch and start over and create a new system of how we're going to operate. Because this one, like, you know, you got
What
Texas
you
right
think
there
it'll be
talking
like?
about they might
It'll be.
leave the union.
Oh,
I
you need.
want them to go. I don't like Texas. They can
Oh,
go.
like
Take
what people
Texas.
tell
Go
you.
ahead and leave.
Oh,
Let
you just
Texas
need to
become their
live
own country.
green. You just need to live green.
I want Texas to go head off and become its own country, and let's see how they vie off then. They already can't keep their electricity on when it gets cold outside. I want to see how they do it without us, without the rest of the United States supporting them. Let's see that happen. Go head off and leave the union. Go ahead, Texas. Let me see you do it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to. They want to leave the union because of immigration stuff and stuff happening down there on their border. Let's see you do it. Go.
Mm-hmm.
I want to watch your failure. I want to see the failure happen right before my eyes. So maybe y'all stop listening to the Republicans and get some new people in your government, because y'all are headed down a cliff that's just, it's a cliff of disaster anyway.
Not disaster.
Yeah.
But you're right.
They down there right now trying not to let the government that's supposed to be responsible for our borders, they're trying not to let them get to the border right now. Because Texas think they know how to do it better with their inhumane practices and letting people die and drown and kill themselves just so they can move about this world that, again, doesn't belong to them. The land doesn't belong to them. It belongs to no one. And we need to start respecting that boundary, that this land that we actually, you know, people out here buying land, it don't belong to you. You still can't own. It's not really naturally owned. You can't own this world.
That part. The neighborly dying
because you can't pick
and
this
doing
land
all
up
that to get over here, and we already dying over here.
That's that conceitedness that humans have. It's like you think you own something. So, like I said in the beginning, if that's the case, we stealing land from the animals who were here before us.
Oh, they definitely don't have no say so. Shoot, you barely have say so.
Look how y'all marginalized the crocodiles. They said crocodiles.
Listen, though,
crocodiles and alligators that roam this whole entire landmass, and now they relegated to a little corner of Florida, and a little corner of the New Orleans.
Right, but listen to this, that you make all that point about, you know, all this developing and stuff like that. A lot of it really doesn't help. You know what I'm saying? The planet. But you talking about the animals, they really ain't got no say. Shoot, they be pushing us away now in these neighborhoods. Let a developer come through and want to do something.
When it was raining the other night,
they trying to get you out of here.
I meant to tell you the other day when it was raining the other night, a deer, I almost hit a deer.
Oh.
It ran across the street right in front of me. Look, and I'm looking at the other two. It was two already clean across the street. And I'm looking at them like, hey, pretty deer. And here come one running right in front of me. I was like, I want to say it was less than a foot away from the front of my truck. And then he hopped off. All you can hear is his hooves clicking. Click, 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 click.
Oh, my goodness. He was like, all right, keep
because
he
has nowhere to go. We done ate up all of the woods. So all he can do is cross the street whenever he wants to.
That's what I said. Let a developer come through here and want to build something where that's what it is. This planet just ain't gonna be nothing but factories and buildings and
we've just killed so many ecosystems. It just doesn't make sense. It's really ridiculous how we live and how we just don't care about nobody else but ourselves. And we're just so conceited in that fact that we just don't even have the mindset or the mind space to think about others and our surroundings and how we affect everything. Like we were talking, that was the main part of the story.
And there's a lot of people like that, but I do like to be, what keeps me going to is I like to be reminded because but I just pray, I know that I'm not the only one. So at the same time, you know, you got some other aliens here now. That's what you Monny. If that's how you feel, you can't just say it's just that I don't know that we got all this stuff around us, so we don't get to know.
I said to you last night. Do you remember the other thing I said to you last night about the trees?
What?
About how our ability to destroy has literally changed the amount of oxygen we can breathe and how it produced us having asthma and things like that and our allergies and stuff like that, because what we come in and do is we destroy the environment by killing all the trees, the native trees, all the native trees around us, and then we put in our buildings, and then we come back and plant other trees that are not native to this space, right? Which doesn't produce nearly enough oxygen as the trees that were there natively, that were already there. So now we see why there's smoke. Let's take LA for example. That whole entire coastline used to have native trees there. Now, when they come in and built all the buildings in the city, Los Angeles and Sacramento and San Francisco, they planted their own trees. Why is there so much smog now? Because there's less oxygen being produced because those trees are very young now. So all they can do is fill the air up with the smoke that you generate from your vehicles and all of the plants that you have and everything like that. This is just regular logic. Like, it's like, come on. We got scientists that are supposed to be doing the testing for this stuff to help make this better or not make this happen at all. But y'all don't listen. Y'all just go in and tear up everything that y'all want to do just to do what you want to do. Versus what's good for your environment and what's good for your planet. This is why those Greenpeace and green freak people are the way they are. Because they know what you're doing. They know what you exist to do, and that's to destroy and kill and maim and shoot. Because you're never gonna get rid of them guns, right? That would be too much like right. Instead of defending yourself with a stick, you need a gun.
Break it on down. That's the world we live in. Well, that's the people we live with in the world.
It is horrible. Look,
and that's what I mean. Like, the stuff around you would just say you so distracted because, I'm not a big fan, and I know that I done lost so many family, but I be feeling like I need one.
So many people have said that to me, and my response to that is just don't invite me over your house. Please, I'm serious. That's a fact. If you got a gun in your house, do not invite me over there, because it's like I said, when you have that thing around you and it's a possibility, the possibility is of you using it. I don't want to be around for when your possibility comes. And it might put me at jeopardy.
Oh my goodness, you gonna ruin it.
Or because it could be me that you're using it against. Say, for instance, we get in a fight and that's your first recourse is to go get your gun. No. So now that would happen is I'm telling you my boundary is I'm going to stay the fuck away from you, period.
Okay, that part. Because shit like that do happen, don't it?
Right.
I look at too much ID. I don't know what that's about. Oh yeah, because that still having people feeling like the man is still, or the woman might have you, So more stuff than necessary. Just like I guess the point that you're making, if we would to put them down, a lot of stuff probably wouldn't even get started or get to that extent. But we're so conditioned.
If it wasn't never a possibility, if it wasn't
we're so conditioned that is a response. Like we have to protect ourselves, and that's what I mean. Like, and me being like, I know better. Like I don't like numbers and all that other stuff like that. But yeah, this world with these people that we live in, you feeling like that.
Right, but
I get it. I get it.
An option for
and all I could do is respect what you're saying, because you ain't never lied. I look at a lot of ID. I told you them channels and stuff be having me side eye a lot of stuff, because none of that stuff is fiction. Okay.
And if it's not an option for either side, then the only recourse you have is to use your hands or use an object, but it's not a gun. What happened to a regular fight? What happened to sealing or finding out the end result by you getting your ass whipped?
Right.
And you're alive. You might be embarrassed, but you're alive.
Right. And look how it's getting worse and worse, though, even behind it. Like, years ago, even though it still was unnecessary and we had gun violence, it was like if something like that was to occur, it was real, real serious. But people are so, look how fucking on edge people are, Money.
And most of the
Like
time, it's
it be
about
over
money.
nothing.
And most
All
of
this
the time,
gun
it's about
violence.
money. It's about
300
money.
and something murders and all that, and just L City alone, but just, worldwide, like that is outrageous. We talk about it in L City, but if you really think about it worldwide, all these fucking guns, people dying, these bombs, and all, it's a mess.
Because you got people talking
It's a
about they can
mess.
get a gun because they want to be able to protect their home and they don't want to get, and if they get broken into. But then you ask the question, when was the last time your house was broken into? Oh, my house has never been broken into. Then why the fuck you need a gun?
Just in case.
It's not just in case. That's just because you want one. That's not a just in case. That's just because you want one because you don't have no real threats.
No, and that's not necessarily true because
It
we
is
also
true.
we
I'm
live
not
in
arguing
life
that.
too, and
That's crazy. That's
you live
crazy.
in life too,
Actually,
and you see what's
you
going
actually
on.
said
So
it
if
a
you
lot.
know the possibility, once it becomes a possibility and it's had occurred, I'm not saying that what you're saying is not true. Like it's not unlikely to happen ever and stuff. So no, that's not a good, I guess, rationale to somebody saying that they want a gun or whatever. But when we think about it, makes it the possibility once it already occurred. So it's not like it can't happen. So it does
To
become a
who? But
threat.
did it occur to
It
you?
does
That's
have
my
the
question.
potential
That's
to
always been
occur.
my question, especially for those people, because this person lives in a
Should be
condo
happening
community.
right next door to us, huh?
This person that I'm talking about lives in a condo community where it's so secure to even get in your building. You got to be buzzed in and all this other kind of stuff. So if somebody breaking into your house in that environment, they already broke. They're getting in. You with your gun going, why are you going to have this gun? Especially then when you firing a gun in that kind of community and it can go upstairs through the ceiling and into somebody else's apartment or across the hall into somebody else's apartment or next door into somebody else's apartment. You are not, that shouldn't be a setting for a gun.
Yeah. And overall, people don't think about all of that. They just think about, I guess, the situation or what they're experiencing where the gun is involved and that's there, but they're not thinking
Having a
about.
gun gives you the potential for using it. That's the problem. Whether you say I'm gonna put it in this lockbox or whatever the case may be, one of these days you're gonna pull it out to go look at something or something or whatever the case may be. It's the potential for you to have to use it, and if you're not ready for that, then you're probably going to kill somebody. All right, look, I don't want to talk
You
about
will
that.
hope to never use it. That's why you remember when I had my good friend on there, whatever, Eric, that was doing his little business and stuff. But that's why, I think that if it is important and if that is the situation, then you definitely need to go through, I got some classes or whatever, try to learn some.
I wasn't knocking
I
the
think
fact that
you
he was on
do
your
to get that information or whatever, but
right. I
unfortunately
wasn't
too.
knocking the fact that he was on your show. I mean, it was good information that he was giving you, but at the same time, I don't like that either when you're promoting telling everybody to get a gun. Because then that leaves me, the person that doesn't believe in a gun, defenseless against you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
But that's good about some companies because I don't even think that's a lot of some people's message that does that is promoting and getting a gun.
Right,
It's saying where that like it's saying where like if it's like with me, like how I'm thinking, like shoot, I might need one for whatever reason I am, but me thinking that, like, yeah, I would need to go somewhere to, learn about it, not promoting it, but in the likelihood that if you are getting it, then you need this education. I think it's more about that. Like those, right? Them, huh?
That's what I said. But the problem with everybody having a gun is in this world of hostility and aggravation and tempers and psychotic behavior and mental breaks. Everybody is 10 steps from being Dylan Roof. The guy that shot up killed them black people in that church.
That's how I did. It find a reason.
Because y'all all are mentally unstable. All of y'all are mentally unstable because of the way we have to live.
And what's the saying? It's like you want to show them that thing out.
Right.
Everybody tough with that gun.
Yes. And then when you have one, your ego goes over 10 times. Your ego increases 10 times because now you feel like you got your safety because there are guns in your bedroom or wherever it is, and then you want to just sit around and act like you bad
Right.
shit.
That's the whole point you was starting out with. Like, realistically, if they weren't in existence, you know what I mean? It would be
Absurd.
a lot of situations that wouldn't
Those are
even
two
be
words.
created. It's a lot of situations that are created from even just having one. So that's why I'm respecting your opinion more. Like, I don't even want to come over there because situations is created just from just having one.
Right.
Like, you never know. That's why it's accidents because, right, we was talking about the murders and stuff. It's a lot of accidental stuff and all that too. There's a lot of situations started. There's a lot of beefs that started. There's a lot of people killed. Why? Because somebody had a gun and somebody was feeling tough. Ain't nothing more but that. Damn, man.
It's hard.
So that's why I like coming on here talking to you.
I'm gonna bring you the stuff because I only want to talk about stuff that matters. I'm gonna bring it to you. What I did.
Yeah, she did.
That's why it's called Talk Lately. This is the stuff I think about every time I go outside this door and I walk and I drive around town and I'm looking around at people and when I leave this country and how I see the difference between here and other places and how they actually act as a community. Like the people down in the Dominican, they all like in one way or the other, they all kind of chip in and build each other's houses. Like if they own that land, if they own a particular piece of land, they're going to build 4 or 5 houses on their land for their entire family.
Giving village.
Giving village of your own home,
We
of your
living
own
together.
family.
We helping each other. Come on.
Right.
We all gotta live.
When we look down there, we look at it and say it's a third world country. They got 10 roofs and and they don't have no windows and they don't have no front doors and all that kind of. But it's 90 degrees outside. Who need a door?
Right.
Who need a window?
Like, right, even if we really did stuff
over the top of these 2 sticks, and this is our house. We ain't got to worry about putting clothes on and having a whole bunch of stuff on because it's always hot here. So the way that we think they live, they feel like they probably living good. They okay. And then they come here, they got to put on all these clothes because it's freezing outside because it's 39 degrees. And they like, oh, y'all might be living a little bit better, but this is a lot to be
right. But they come over here because, like we say, it's more opportunity. It's more job. They can make money faster because, like how you said that, you was telling me that too. Like over there, like jobs and stuff like that.
They make more money doing less. That's what it is. They make more money here doing less.
Right.
Where if they were at home, they'd be making less money doing a lot damn more.
Right.
So that's why they're trying to come here in particular. So here we go. That was full circle. You see how that was full circle right back to immigration?
That's what I'm telling you. It's all connected. And if we could be able to contact you, made that point too tonight. Look, I keep on saying make a point, but it's true that if we was all just like focused on some of these stuff to some of these solutions to fix other stuff, one problem leads into the other problem.
But a lot of stuff
that's why everything is just every fucking way
not getting done when
everything
there are
is
people that are willing to do it. Because if we are not willing to do these jobs, somebody still has to do them. And if somebody else is willing to do that job, why don't you let them? Because I promise you, I ain't pulling up no weeds. We did that already as slaves. I ain't picking no cotton.
You say you ain't what?
I ain't pulling no. I'm not pulling no weeds. I'm not picking no vegetables. I'm not picking cotton. I'm not doing any of that fucking work. That's over. That was done during slavery. I wasn't there, and I'm not trying to revisit. I'm not doing any of that. That is not a mission that I'm going to be taking at all. That's somebody else's problem. I'll definitely eat.
You don't even want to cook. You don't even want to cook no more, do you? Like I was talking about the day taking over the Popeyes. We don't even want to cook no more.
Right. We only want to do fast food no more.
Mammy done made enough chicken. I done cooked enough. I know y'all know what my hand did. No.
Right, because we don't even want to
And
cook no
all of the
more.
fast food chains, mind you, is there any black? I gotta look that up. Like, but the majority of fast food chains, the majority of the ones that is booming like that and all of that, like everything,
Mm-hmm.
all for the ones, you know, that was us when we was teenagers and stuff with those jobs and all that. Off the back
That's
of
what I'm
us,
trying to,
but
and I'm
those
trying
are
to figure
not
that
black
out too.
people.
When
Look,
did
look,
because if we think about that too, because I'm glad you brought that up because we was talking about that one day we was riding together. I forgot we was coming. Oh, we was coming from the Sheila Dixon thing. So and we ride, and I was like, and I had just mentioned to you, I think I want some Popeyes, and then we turned into the Popeyes, and I was like, never mind, I don't want no Popeyes, and then we left. But we started talking about the fact that it's all Hispanics working in the Popeyes now.
that's what I'm saying. We
And
don't
when did
want to
that
cook no
change?
food.
Because that was like
And
that wasn't my first job, but it was like one of the second or third full-time job I've ever had was
is
working at
any of
Popeyes.
those fast food chains, any of them black owned?
The one on Patapsco used to be. It did not used to be. Oh, I don't know if they got bought out or what happened, but it changed.
Yeah,
Because there used to be black people that worked in there.
yeah, it did. But I'm saying the brand itself, is any of them like black owned
I don't know.
chains?
I don't know. When I worked there, I was working for a company called BNT Foods.
Because when you got me to saying, when you got this almost picking cottons and all that, look, I'm going some more, yeah, because they done flourished off our backs while we was working
That's what I'm
for 'em
saying. I don't
or
understand when it
buying the
changed because
food.
when I worked there, like I said, when I was working for Popeyes, it was ran by a company called BNT Foods. All my regional managers were black. We had one, I think it was one like white not general manager, but he was like a senior representative for our area. And he was white. But my regional managers were white. Our district managers were white. My store manager, both store managers that I worked for, the one out in Randallstown and the one in Owens Mills, they both black. All of my assistant managers were black. Like, I don't know when that changed. Like, maybe they got bought out by somebody that was like, we're going to, I don't know. I do not know. But it changed.
And I know
But
that for
again,
the
I'm not
staff,
saying
but
that
I'm
it's
saying like the people
right
that
or
really
wrong
own these companies.
because I know at my 40-plus-year-old ass wasn't going back to frying chicken. So I don't know when it changed, but I'm not mad at the change as long as the chicken still stays the same. But I don't do Popeyes anymore because that's like diarrhea wrapped in yellow paper,
Stop.
and I don't want it.
Be having you like that.
Yeah, it don't. But I guess that's probably from years of eating it. It just don't fit with my stomach anymore.
Mm.
I don't know when that changed, but shoot, based on that, if those people that work there got their citizenship, they can bring anybody they want here.
Mm.
All they need is a family member, and then they can get that's their
That's
route
why
to
they
citizenship.
say they gotta go and have a baby over here. That's what really make it foolish. So if
Or come in the right way, get your citizenship, and then everybody that's in your family has a route to citizenship.
right. So if I sneak over here and I'm pregnant and then I have my baby and I have him on USA land on his soil, my baby is a United States citizen, right?
That is correct.
But I'm not. So I might still have to go back.
Yep, and you want to take
Like
your
it's
baby.
just that stupid. If I come over here accidentally or I was born over here, that's just oh my goodness. It's just so stupid. And that causes other problems.
Yep.
Mm.
Mm. See, that was look. I can just promise you guys that wasn't even a topic that was even anywhere
It
on my mind.
wasn't. It
That but it was a conversation that we had yesterday that had nothing to do with the show. I didn't think I was going to even be talking about this on the show today, but it was a great conversation that we had yesterday. That was just like it's like I said, it started from religion, and it just developed into a whole conversation about immigration. And I thought it was like really, really, it flowed that way.
Right. And it's
Because
like
you were
how we
talking
talking
about,
and it's
I
like we
forgot what
already
I had
had the
brought up to you.
conversation.
I
And
forgot what
I'm
I had
trying to
brought up to
remember
you.
all the points I was bringing up yesterday, but I'm
Yeah,
like, I can't. That's we always say that though, because and it does be like that. Like you'll be talking about it, and it be like that too, as far as when
I
you
forgot what
briefing.
I brought up to you though that kicked off the conversation. I know it was something about the Bible,
Oh, when we were talking about when
and
we
it
were
led us
saying
into the
for
immigration
storytelling,
discussion. Yeah, because
when we were saying
right, and I was
storytelling,
saying,
and we was just saying different books or just in history. Like we can't, you can't believe that. Like how we were
you
saying, people
can't
need to
believe
learn
what these
stuff for
people have been telling
themselves.
you all these years because they make up stuff to suit their narrative.
Right, right. That's
Right,
how it started. It wasn't about the Bible. We just
right.
used and talked about different books and stuff in reference
Hmm.
to what we was talking about, and just basically saying like, right, if me and you were somewhere and somebody say, right, what happened, Monty? Right, what happened, Chas?
And over history and how the history, we talk about the history books and everything. Yeah, because all of
Yeah,
those are written narratives in somebody else's perspective that may not even be the truth. It just might
right.
be somebody else's perspective on how they thought something went, but it was a thought, not an actual projection of what actually happened.
Exactly, because that's somebody else's rendition. Man, you could have
Exactly.
been there. We
That's
seen
what
the
you
same
put in the
thing
history
happen,
book.
but the way we're gonna tell it is gonna be different.
It was more so about indoctrination. That was what it was. It was more so about how we as a society continuously let people indoctrinate us with their truths and not the continuous the absolute truth. It's not the complete truth. It's their truth. It's what they perceive happened. And then you go around and you get a consensus and everybody says and act like they agree with what that consensus is, and then that's what goes into your history books, and I don't think that's right, which is why we're in this position now where
Right.
they're talking about there was some good parts
And
of
we were
slavery.
talking about how some people just never have questions and how you can be looking
Yeah,
at
because
certain stuff.
now we like in Florida how
Social
they talk
media,
about now there
news,
was some
whether
good
it be
parts of
books or
slavery.
whatever, and as soon as somebody hears something, they just believe it and they just run with that. Like they don't think for themselves. They don't at all try to educate themselves. Like
Mhm.
because we was even saying, like I remember we were saying when you was younger, everybody played the game, the little gossip game. I give you a message, see what this is the same when it gets to the
See,
end.
come back to you the same way I told you, right?
It never did.
And it never does. Oh, all right, let me see what else I have to talk about though. Okay, so we were going to talk about the E. Jean Carroll
Mm.
and the $90 million verdict that against Donald Trump for her defamation suit. Go, woman, go. That's all I can say. And she said she's not finished
And
with.
watch your
Basically,
mouth.
if he keeps on going, she's not going to be finished with his ass until he broke.
Watch your mouth. Don't say nothing else. You better
Mhm.
say whatever you gotta say ridiculous about this campaign or whatever you doing. Just keep your mouth off that lady.
And you can tell he don't really understand how the law works. So he was like, "Well, I'm going to appeal." You know, him and his lawyer talking about they're going to appeal the decision. Whether you appeal it or not, the money is due. Even if you appeal it, the money is still going to be due. It might not get to E. Jean Carroll right away because they're going to put it into a oh my god, the word just left my
It's
mind.
due because your
Escrow
appeal
account. They're
still
going to put
has
that
to be
money in
accepted.
escrow. They're going to take that money out of your account and put it in escrow until the appeal courts makes a decision. And whatever they make the decision, either she's going to get the full amount or it's going to be a reduced amount. I think it's going to be the full amount because the one thing the appeals court is not going to be able to get over is the fact that even after this lawsuit was filed again for the second time, basically for the same for a new set of defamation against her, that you even continue to do it after she filed the suit.
Even on during the trial, right? They had to
That's what
put
I'm
a
saying.
gag
So even
order.
after you filed the suit, you continue to still defame her in the public eye as
Right.
you were
Then
one of
you had
the.
a gag order, several gag orders. Then y'all put in a motion for the gag order to be lifted, and what it was, as if it just was your right and you wasn't gonna run your mouth. The gag order got
Mhm.
lifted and you still ran your mouth.
And this isn't the
Again.
money that she was seeking because I only think she was actually suing him for $5 million. This is what the jury awarded her.
Yes. Come again.
$83 million.
Right. And everybody on the jury, that's what I'm saying, even though the way this is playing out, because everybody on the jury, trust me, they was a part of that jury selection, is not despisers of Trump's the way that I am.
Well, I
So
think they
he
said
had
he
people
only
that
has
were supporters or whatever. And I feel good that that jury was able to sit there and look at things with they like how it is, and they're not in this other like Republican Trump supporter, Trump supporter, because I'm not going to say everybody has to be a Republican that supports him, but they not in that trance and just act like they don't see what's going on. He even was doing it due to court. You know, he walked out and everything on closing argument the last day.
And that's probably when all the jurors rolled their eyes at him and was like, we're going to get your ass. We're going to get your ass. As soon as we get back in this room, we're going to deliberate and get your ass.
I know if I was up there, I would have been so this cocky.
I mean, I just know what goes into those deliberation rooms because I was, a couple years ago, I was on somebody's jury and I awarded the plaintiff. We got them what, $500,000? I think we awarded them, and they was only suing for like $5 against a police officer, and it was against a police officer.
Wow.
And it takes a lot to go into that stuff because you actually have to follow. It's a set of rules that a jury has to follow when they're doing that. It's not like you can really go off of your feelings and how you feel about things. You actually go through the case and what the case and see the evidence in the case and actually deliberate. A lot of people take that.
That's what
serious.
I say. The way the law is supposed to go. Well, that's that's how it's set up supposed to go. Unfortunately, a lot of times
I don't like the fact, and I've been saying this for years now. I don't like the fact that it's not a paid position. I think being a juror should be a paid position and not something that's outsourced to the community. I think you should be being paid a salary to do it, because going over there to give your opinion for free is not okay. Because you're giving up all of your time.
Well, they give you a survey. Look, they give you a survey.
I don't want that $15.
That's a survey. It went up now. It's $30. I think.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
It's $30. That I didn't. Yeah, that's a survey.
A lot of people don't want to do it. They're not like me, though. Like they're not like me. Like I loved going to jury duty as long as it wasn't a whole lot of people there. That was always my problem when they tried to pile you all up in that room. All that breathing.
You want to be involved? I don't.
People having on too much cologne, and some people stinking. It was too much. And then one bathroom. Ugh. That's what Sheila was talking about the other day. Remember we was and they were talking about
the conditions of those buildings and stuff, and how that's ridiculous.
They talking about moving the building. Why don't y'all just remodel? I know the building is made a bunch of marble and it's historic, but just remodel the building and in the inside.
And y'all can do that.
Let go of the historic. I mean, I know it's a historic building, but if you move out of there, then the building is vacant.
Right. What y'all gonna do? But see, that's how they think about that.
Building if you remodel it.
Yes, and you can.
And you can. There's a lot of space in there that can be utilized. The hallway is way too big.
Yes, and you can knock down You can knock down some of them walls and expand and different stuff.
That marble and repurpose that marble that y'all trying not to hurt. Y'all better repurpose that marble. Take it off the
wall. Please.
Because it's so. I mean,
it's so dark.
They kept creating new jury rooms. Like it's jury rooms upstairs, and now it's jury rooms downstairs on the first floor and upstairs. And they're all connected. You can take the stairwell to go to the second floor, right from the main jury room. But it should be different. You shouldn't have to be sitting in there all day. It's 2024. Text the people that you want to come in for jury duty. Like that's stupid. Why do you have to have people sitting in there from 9 to 5? And y'all know y'all not starting the case that day. Y'all could have them people sitting at home, text them to come in by 1 o'clock. Like say for instance, if they're a jury.
Oh, for real. And that's why they got to do all that.
They have to report that there's certain subsect that people have to report by 1 o'clock. At least they can sit at home, or go to work.
Right, and you still get paid though, but you can sit in comfort of your home.
And if you
You
tell them that
still
they have
get
to report
paid.
at 1 o'clock,
If
they
they
just
need you, you do the
they gotta
whole
leave at 1. They gotta be, here's my text. The court says be here at 1. I gotta go at 1 o'clock.
right. I
Damn.
mean, in all hindsight, though, the whole jewelry selection process can be done from home.
Asking
The
500
same
people
way.
to come into a building for no reason to sit around all day and sleep
Okay.
and be uncomfortable is stupid.
It's stupid. Y'all can do that right online. Ask me these questions, my check-in, my name.
And then you shouldn't even have to go in for jury selection. You can do that
That's what
via
I'm
Zoom.
saying.
You can do that via Zoom. Zoom me
Yes,
in.
that
And
whole
then I can show up
process.
to the case. Then I can come in at the case during the case.
Right, the whole thing. They want to see you in person. They want to fill
That's
you out.
crazy. You can ask me the same questions on Zoom that you can ask me in person. It
They
ain't gonna be
want.
no different. Actually, it might make you feel a little bit more comfortable being in your own setting to answer those hard questions, because sometimes they get some hard questions.
They don't. Well,
They,
I've never.
nowadays they ask you, what's your political affiliation? Are you a Democrat, Independent,
Yes, they
Republican,
did.
whatever?
Good
They
job.
ask you all of those questions
And
now
then
because
they
they
ask
know
you if you're gonna be, if you can judge it
if
fairly
you're
and
gonna be
stuff, and be
biased or not.
mad if you say you can't. Like
Right.
you mad? I
They
ain't
ask
saying
you
it
this
like that.
question too. Are you saying that just to get out of jury duty? Yes.
That's what I'm saying. And get mad when you answer. Y'all asking me all these questions and then get mad. They don't never pick me because I make sure I go down there.
Because when you ask that question, they
Ask
being
for King.
honest. They're also telling you that I'm going to lie.
Like it's a mess.
It's crazy, yeah.
How about that? We shouldn't even have to go down. But it is what it is. But look, you still might get the opportunity to serve on jury duty. You won't get it if you is charged or anything with a crime, but Trump can still be trailing the campaign to be the president, and he got all these charges, and he in court now.
I hate that they stopped talking about this, which is why we haven't heard anything else about it. They're not talking about what the Supreme Court is going to do about whether he's qualified to run or not. That needs to stop being. That needs to continuously be in the news.
Oh yeah,
We need to press them to come on and make a decision, because it's getting too hyped up. The election is getting too hyped up with him being one of the main with him being the candidate, the one that's going against Biden.
Right, and that's what I'm
Because we
saying.
need a
People
decision.
trying to act like it all depends on how the court cases and everything else pans out. But I'm saying, why is that necessary? The fact that he is even involved in that right now, that shouldn't even matter. Like, we know he has his day in court when he's proven innocent or anything else like that. But why does it determine how the court case is going to go versus the fact that it's something that's the situation that they are in court? Like that's what baffles me. I'm baffled about that, and I keep coming back to it every time I think about the jury duty thing, Monty. Like that's baffling. Why do you have to see? I don't get that. I don't get
No
that.
one does. And no one does, and probably no one ever will.
Oh, but just like how you said, now with that, I feel like an alien, because just like how you said, and things that you notice that's not coming across or it's not being relayed the news or whatever. Like, what, am I the only one asking these questions? Like, look at this.
No, you're not. That's the
What
thing.
is
You're
going
not the only
on?
one asking those questions.
Just like I was just now talking about Ron. Last week on your show, we talked about Ron DeSantis and him kissing ass after someone who gave them their ass to kiss, but dropping out of the election, announced into his campaign, and then that he was backing Trump. And I haven't heard him saying nothing either at all. Like, it's just a circus. It's a circus. The world is crazy, but it's the people that live in it.
It's the people that live in
I
it.
ain't
Yeah,
crazy.
that's exactly right.
I know I ain't crazy. And it's like, look at this. Like, somebody come look at this. This is everything they doing right in our face.
They show
Like,
you right.
how is that possible? And people be going down there wanting to serve jury duty and got a law ticket or anything in the court system, and no, they can't. If you got a case pending, no, you can't. No, you can't. How?
It's so funny how I'm actually looking over here on this other screen on how this the captions come up, and they actually cut. They're actually catching every word that I say and actually catching it right.
Okay.
It's so weird that it's.
And mine is
And I know sometimes I talk
Go ahead and
fast. And it's so
continue.
weird that it's actually catching everything that I say.
Oh, okay. I was ready to say, and look at mine. Mine is saying, it's talking.
I've never noticed that before, but I'm actually looking over here on my second monitor, and I can see it's catching everything that I'm saying and actually saying it right.
Oh, I told you mines don't. I go back sometimes and look at the show and be like, what? But I get that. That's my accent. That's how y'all know. My son, I ain't gotta tell y'all. If y'all know Chas'Real. I mean, wow.
So let's go ahead and talk about the because I know I'm gonna come back today. I probably gonna bring this round full circle, even if I'm bringing up Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh my goodness.
Because it all goes into the same thing. Like, so now Megan Thee Stallion is not. I don't even want to call it under fire because she's not wrong in what she said and how she said it in her lyrics. The father of Megan, the law, Megan's law, is now being. He's expressing that he didn't like the fact that his daughters was being used in Megan's lyrics on her new song Hiss. And I believe, it hasn't been confirmed, but I believe that bonehead girl, Nicki Minaj, put him up to this. But what he needs to understand,
Roman did it.
Already, I mean, because he's
She
already
really bring awareness though, Monny. But go ahead.
But what I'm saying is, what he already should know, being a litigious person, because he was the one that actually brought about this thing to help his daughter get this law, get to help his daughter when the law was passed in the first place, when Megan's law was passed in the first place. He already should know that this is not, because if he's listened to the song, he already knows that it wasn't referring to his daughter, but referring to the law.
Exactly.
You can't combat somebody on law.
For referencing it.
For referencing law. You can't combat somebody on law, period. The law is the law. If somebody talks about the law, they have a First Amendment right to do so.
And there was one line, and it kind of brought awareness because, like I was telling you and shared with you, I'm aware of that requirement now when it comes to sex offenders and everything, but I did not know, how it was mandated and how it actually was established, and so it got me to Googling. And I was like, oh, okay, that's Megan Law. But that's what's just so funny to me. It was one line, and for the Nicki Minaj fans, the Barb, she came up with a whole song. But yeah, that's crazy. It really brought awareness, though. It really did. I mean,
yeah, because I didn't know that's what that was called. I did not.
Right. And I know I wasn't the only one Googling or trying to find out what Megan Law was. And like I said, a lot of us already know that requirement and that procedure when it pertains to that. But I didn't know the backstory, should I say. You know what I mean? And it did bring awareness to it. Like, oh, yeah, makes sense. But Megan didn't mention no names, not even Nikki. But they said, what she said, hurt Doug a holler. And Nikki definitely screaming.
But you getting what you asked for because you chose to marry him.
Exactly.
Ain't nobody put you up to it.
What's
ain't
wrong?
Nobody forced you into it unless he did. I mean,
and I didn't even find nothing wrong with what Megan said. Like she said, y'all ain't mad at Megan, y'all be mad at Megan Law. I don't even know what the problem is, but don't get me to start or however she said it. And it was real cute. But then this one, for one, Nikki, this that came back out is not the best of quality, but just the things that she's taking the dig on is just so tasteless. It's just tasteless. About her, the things that you're joking about for us being shining foot. It's like, that wasn't her fault. That ain't nothing to happen. She didn't have a choice.
Right. So why would that be funny? Like
right. She didn't have a choice. You had a choice to marry your man. You get what I mean? So
you had a choice on
being her mother transitioning, not being here, that's
so that's tantamount to saying that's why your mother did.
That's a mess. That's the mess. I can't feel that. Because if you really look at it for real, she said you made a Megan's Law, so you knew she was talking about you. Okay, she got you. But
Right.
really, it was one line. You that mad because you know it's true. I don't know. You that
She
mad. You
probably
came up with
listened
a
to the
whole
song
song
over.
where you stoop that
You
low
know
to
she
talk
probably
about
listened to
that
the
girl,
song.
deceased mother.
You know she probably listened to the song over and over again just to make sure she ain't say nothing else about her. She probably
Mm.
about 500 of those days go 4 million views.
Let me see. Yes, let me see what else it's saying.
Uh-huh.
Oh, because that's how I be. Every time you go back, you find something else.
But I would, again, here we go with the human nature thing. I told you I was gonna bring it back around. Here we go with the human nature thing. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a setup because you
Okay.
got two of the top artists on the whole entire hip hop spectrum talking about each other, making each other's listeners go listen to each other's songs.
Yes, and we got
You
all
see
these
that?
ratings, 4 million and all of that.
You see that work? You see that work? I'm gonna say this about you, Nikki, and then you come back with a diss record, and we can all be successful.
If they were smart, right?
If they, yeah, exactly.
But no,
And that's why
sitting
and
over
that's why
there.
Megan's
They
quiet right
really
now. She
sitting
letting
over
that
there
shit air
getting
out.
money and worried about supposed to be getting money and worried about frivolous crap.
It even been this way. All on Megan's side. All on Megan's side. I'm about to set this bitch off. I'm gonna say this line in my record, in my new record, and I'm gonna set that bitch off just like how she, was setting Kim off. I'm gonna set her
Yeah,
off
that's
and
what
watch this
turned me
record.
off
This
about the
record
love and
going to
hip hop
skyrocket.
stories because I just didn't like how it was depicting black people. You know what I'm saying? In that light, in that music world, trying to get money. Like y'all have the opportunity to get money, and be in that space to do what you're doing, and y'all just worry about the wrong stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all worry about the wrong stuff. Like y'all supposed to be the happy ones or the ones that's good. If it's really all about money, I just don't get it. Like I would be so unbothered, and that's why I think some people are blessed like that. That's why I feel like what's
And
my
that's
girl
what how
name?
all her followers have been. All Nikki's followers have been saying that all weekend long. Like, girl, what is wrong with you? Like, you have been on a tangent all weekend long. You
Like
ain't
you
been
supposed to be
your girl
unbothered by
has been
her.
ever since she released the album. She ain't said a word, and you have been talking all weekend long for the past 4 days, nonstop about this girl. She is under your skin.
Yes, and they made
That's
it.
what I said. I was reading them comments earlier today. Like, God damn, they are tearing her ass up. Her own followers, her own barbs. Like, no, baby, this one ain't it. I don't know why you thought this rhyme was okay. Who approved this? This is horrible. This is
Right.
not worthy of replying to what she did to you.
They was mad
Those two
already.
words,
Yeah,
Megan's
and
law.
I
She
was shocked
destroyed
to
you with
see that
Megan's
because I
law.
think they was mad already because Nikki gives this persona like, I got it all together, even though, I act crazy, but I got it all together and I'm so unbothered. So even
Mm-hmm.
before the song even came out, a lot of them were just bothered that she was right on the live doing all that. It just, it's just a mess.
Because I told you too, as I read them lyrics when because I didn't even hear the song. I still haven't heard the song audibly. I read the lyrics on her Twitter page, on her X page, and I was like, no, this ain't worthy. This is not worthy as a diss record against another diss record. Megan's raw. Megan's that's just
Right. And see, the thing about it is that, I'm not necessarily a fan of Nicki, but I like Lingy and I love Megan. I just don't really, I love Megan. I like how she written, but I just don't really like her delivery. That's what it was for me. So I was just more in love with Nicki delivery, but then that switched up too. I think I was more in love with it for as how she used to just bring it off like that because it was, but that was Lil Kim. We
mm-hmm.
talked about that too. That was Lil
Yep.
Kim. So it was giving me right. I was Lil Kim vibe, so I was missing Lil Kim, and it
Mm-hmm.
was like that. But I love Megan. Why I love Megan, I love her for her confidence. I love her how she just, exuberates that and right and that body. And yes, I love that. I love that. I love how her body image, her being, I think a woman, she body period is perfect, but just her being, taller and what Nikki try to joke and, big foot, whatever else like that. Like, right, Megan is,
that's right. Because she
is
did
beautiful.
actually say something else in the song about Nikki. Well, it was like almost a reference to the surgeries.
Yeah, it was saying everybody got BBLs.
Your body all scarred up and mine is not. Basically, that's what Megan said, basically. Because you had all them damn surgeries to make yourself look like how I looked originally. That was a cute one. It was an undercut dig though, because she didn't.
But that's what I'm saying. Like she said, she ain't say no name. So if you took it some type of way or whatever, just everybody. Like she said, that she only gonna give y'all 24 hours.
Because of the Megan's Law part, she was talking about her when she said that about the surgery stuff.
But she don't even know what the problem is. That's what she said. I don't even know what the problem is. And just like people say, but Nikki been taking. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I asked you when I asked
she
you.
Been
don't they have a song together?
Yeah,
like,
they did.
Wrong with like, how but apparently, from us being in a song together. But that was the same thing with like we said with the same thing with Lil Kim. They had a song together,
right?
And like, when did you stop like respecting her?
Yeah, she weird. She weird.
But she's very
never
weird.
Paid homage.
Everybody she wants people to bow down to her like she's earned a queendom. And I don't think that is right. I don't think she's earned a
right.
You may be a top charting artist and fame deserved, right? For the things that you created. I give you that. I just don't believe that you earn queendom.
Right. Like everybody just gotta respect you and
like you're not the queen of rap.
That's what it is. You don't get respect because she don't give respect.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like she don't give respect.
A dope lyricist. I do believe she's a dope lyricist. I just don't think she's the best lyricist because there's so much gimmick.
Yeah, she don't give respect. That's what it is. And that's why she don't get it, because she don't give other respect to the other artists and stuff. And that's what y'all doing or whatever. Like you don't want nobody to like nobody else.
Because there's so much gimmick. It's just so much gimmick in her repertoire. I want to see how that come out. Did that come out right?
Is that why you saying it? Look, I could see your lips move the way you said it. Repertoire.
Because she's just a clown.
You sounded, look, that's how Nikki be. Repertoire.
Look, it came out. Repertoire. I love it. I love that word. Oh, goodness. All right, what else is next? Okay, good thing it's
people that wrench in Nikki repertoire. Megan gagged her, got her like,
I might have that word in it now. Watch.
Yeah. Megan then gagged her, got her like,
Oh, goodness.
Let's try again.
Do you got a guest this week?
We all just get along.
Do you have a guest this week?
No, not yet, but you never know. You gotta watch the show.
Well, and how it's going to happen. Thursday at 7 p.m.
But no, I don't. I do not. I cannot even announce a guest radio. That's what it gives. But I'm gonna be there.
Won't we all?
7 p.m. Back at it again. Back like I never left, doing my best.
All right, so let me read this real quick. So, a high school. All right, so this is what the headline says, and this report is from, I do believe, Yahoo News. But there was a study done that says high school students who use alcohol, cannabis, or nicotine are at a higher risk for mental health disorders, and what parents should know. So it goes on to say what parents need to know about a new study linking cannabis, nicotine, and alcohol use among high schoolers to suicidal thoughts. High school students who reportedly use alcohol, cannabis, or nicotine were more likely to have symptoms of mental disorders than those who did not. even at low levels of usage, according to a new study published on Monday by researchers at the Massachusetts General Hospital and the University of Minnesota. It says, so what you can take away from this is here's what the researchers learned about substance use in adolescence and what other experts in the field think about their findings and what worried parents can do to help their teen navigate concerns about alcohol, cannabis, and nicotine, as well as mental health. So the study found that, sorry, I lost my place. Which was all right. So the study, which used results from 2002 to 2023, and 2022 and 2023, survey of over 15,000 Massachusetts high school students, found that using any of these three substances was linked to psychiatric symptoms, including suicidal thoughts, symptoms of depression and anxiety, psychotic experiences, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD. You know what? I have a problem. So you surveyed 15,000 high school students between 2022 and 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And they freely admitted to using drugs.
Mm.
I don't believe it. That's what I'm coming. Here we go, human nature again, expressing something.
No, it's not even that. Even just what the study was on, because we always talk about mental health and people not wanting to be with it, and they admitted to having suicidal thoughts.
But I'm just saying, you telling me that these 15,000 students admitted to using drugs? I don't believe that.
Well, some of
They
them
admitted to using
they're not
drugs.
taking their name.
So now they letting you. Now they telling you. Think they telling you that they're committing crimes? Underage drinking, drug use,
No,
and
they're trying to lock them up
before the age of 18. So they're going to admit to you in a survey that they're doing all of this. I don't believe it. And they're in high school, and you think they're going to tell you the truth like that? I don't believe it. All right, I'm going to continue, though.
What you say, lies, Monny?
This is lies. I don't believe this stuff.
And
this study is absurd.
Right. What
mind you, when we were in high school, I was doing all three of those things. Smoking cigarettes, drinking, and getting high. Okay. I didn't have suicidal thoughts.
Look, that's safe.
I didn't have suicidal thoughts.
I didn't.
We were having fun. That's what we called fun.
I think
I'm sorry to tell you, that's what we called fun.
In a lot of those situations, I wasn't thinking now, but I had fun. Exactly. And I definitely wasn't thinking about.
Look, I'm not condoning anybody else and their children.
I just didn't think about consequences or nothing.
When we were doing it under the age of 18, we were having fun. That's what we called fun. I'm sorry to tell you, but we was fucked up in the 10th grade. We was getting it in. Which is why I don't, and it's so interesting because now I don't drink. I still smoke weed, but I don't smoke cigarettes, and I don't do two of the three things. I don't smoke cigarettes, and I don't drink.
And I couldn't dare try to do those things like that. Like I still take the drink and everything, but not like Monny. We used to be mixing fifths, dark, light, and I couldn't dare. You see me, my drink of choice now be the long. Right, my drink of choice now would be like the Long Island, whatever. I used to be a Remy Martin drinker, but even with the Long Island, like
Mystics was good. The one that was alcohol was in Mystics, wasn't it?
And what?
Mystics.
Was that the bowling?
Wasn't alcohol in Mystics?
And the bowling thing?
The drink, Mystic. Wasn't it a wine cooler?
I don't know. Did they used to say that about no salon no more?
I think the Mystics, it's gone. I think that was what they was called. Wasn't it the wine cooler Mystics? Hold on. Yeah, Mystics. That was the fruity wine coolers.
Oh my goodness. They were selling like juice.
Yes. We was fucking them up back in the day.
That's why they don't sell no more. They got caught.
Heineken's, Corolla 40s.
Yes. Boomer Thong.
Don't ask us who was buying them because we was lit.
Boom-a-phone, Cisco,
Uh, so that's how if they
90.
suicidal today, they are suicidal far beyond the usage of these
Yes.
things.
E&J.
They're suicidal for a reason, and it has nothing to do with the usage of the alcohol or the
Oh,
substance.
come again. Come again.
Now you need to be looking at those 15,000 students' homes and what their lives is like,
Environment.
their environments. But I don't think it has
Exactly.
anything to do with the substance that they're taking. Because if they're taking something, well, most cases that they're taking the substances, it's because of a situation that they're in, and that's their coping mechanism. But that's probably not most of the cases for all of them, because some of them probably just do it because they want to have fun. All right, let me continue with the study, though. That's just our opinion. That was our opinion on the study. It says researchers also looked at whether how frequently adolescents used alcohol, cannabis, and nicotine was associated with the increase of psychiatric symptoms. They found that daily or nearly daily use was consistently associated with moderate increases in symptoms, and thoughts of suicide were about 5 times more prevalent among students who use substances daily or near daily than those who did not. But even among students with lower levels of use, students who had ever used substances or used them monthly or weekly, some increase in psychiatric symptoms was detected. See, that's why I keep going back to how I can't believe this study, because now you're trying to say that 15,000 students actually complied with this survey on snitching on themselves.
Well, maybe it was more and it was only certain ones who participated.
And then you have to go back to the fact that if you're saying that majority of these people that was taking these 3 things, and we're talking about 15,000 students again. If 15,000 students are all telling you that they're suicidal, what the hell?
That's what I'm saying.
You got a whole entire class of people.
Why y'all supposed to call somebody? Wait a minute.
There's an epidemic going on. It's more than the drug usage. The drug usage is a band-aid.
Wait, why they supposed to call somebody? So why they supposed to turn and say, let me stop?
It goes on to say, we know and have known for a while that psychiatric symptoms tend to be more prevalent among young who use substances. No, I disagree with that. And you are a doctor. I disagree with that completely, because substances usage is usually the band-aid to the problem, not the cause of the problem. So I call bullshit.
Okay.
I call bullshit completely, because you know that this is not a right report. You know that this is obscure. Because it's never been the case that, oh, your drug usage, you're getting drunk and you're smoking a cigarette was the problem. It was usually the symptom after the problem already existed. This is the course that we're going to go once once we're inside of a problem. I'm going to start smoking cigarettes so I can deal with the situation that has been dealt to me. I'm going to start using weed to dull the senses of what's already happening to me. I'm going to use alcohol so I don't have to think about what's already happening to me. Not I'm going to use alcohol to think suicidal. That doesn't even sound right. Let me go drink this beer so I can feel what it feels like to be suicidal. Let me go do this weed so I can feel, so I can think about being suicidal. No, because if you go use the weed and you smoke weed,
I thought it was so you don't feel anything.
And you thinking about suicide, you're definitely blown. You're no longer high.
Okay. Coming from a true, what you say? Coming from a true.
If I'm sitting around smoking weed and thinking about suicide, I blow myself. I already done
Let
blown.
me tell you, right? If it gives me any moment where I can't be like, man, fuck that, I'm blown. Do you hear me?
Where did they do this study at? In the psych ward? It don't make sense.
It do sound crazy.
Look, and
you got a point.
To say what experts say. Dr. Christopher Hammond, an associate professor of child and adolescent psychiatry at Johns Hopkins University of Medicine, points out that the study doesn't take into account the use of multiple substances, which is a common, like I said, didn't I say I did all
The
three?
mix of the substances got you
Did I
being
say I did all
crazy.
three?
Yes.
It says who is common amongst adolescents and how that might affect mental health. They do not control for effects of cannabis. For example, in their alcohol analysis or vice versa, Hammond tells you Yahoo Life, given this, I think it is difficult to draw major conclusions comparing the effects of different substance types to each other. See, he even gets it. This doctor even gets it. You can't compare all of those different things because they all have different ways of affecting the body. Alcohol makes you delirious. Cannabis makes you extra relaxed. Cigarettes make you a kind of wired, sick to your stomach, feel good kind of thing. Oh, I miss a cigarette, but I'm never going back.
Mm-hmm.
You miss it too.
Yeah, I still ain't no better. I got from the parts of the chemicals and the smells and everything, but I still vape, which isn't, good either. But it's definitely
But
better than
because
a
I can
cigarette.
tell
I
you,
don't
my
care what
guilty
nobody
pleasure,
say.
I only smoke and I only drink when I'm in the Dominican Republic. I take 3 packs of cigarettes with me when I go to the Dominican Republic, and I also drink when I'm in the Dominican Republic. But in the United States, I need all of my faculties because you motherfuckers ain't gonna kill me.
Oh,
I ain't lying. Because I need to
I
be able to
can't
pay
even
attention to
smoke a
all of
cigarette
you.
now, though, Monny. Ugh.
See, but that's what I'm saying. When you combine alcohol and cigarettes, that's when it's a good match.
Yes.
That's
That's
why I
how I
only do it in
thought
the
out.
Dominican while I'm relaxed. So let me go.
It
Oh, I'm
just
sorry.
puts you in that mood.
I thought I was smoking so many cigarettes while I was down there. I thought I was gonna come back a smoker again. I was like, but as soon as I got back home, it was like, ew, no, I got to cut
Yeah.
off. I remember, you got to keep your faculties when you're here. You can't get nothing done with a cigarette in your hand.
Okay.
All right, so it goes on to say then Dr. Maria Ron Bander, I think that's how you say her name, Ron Bander, a co-author of the American Academy of Pediatrics clinical report on suicide and suicide risk on adolescents, tells Yahoo Life that the study findings aren't surprising since substance use has a known association with suicide and mental health conditions. See, I disagree with that notion because suicide is not linked to alcohol usage in that way. Suicide is linked to alcohol usage when there is a prior reason for you using the substance. Like, people don't just wake up and say, I'm going to go get a beer because I feel great.
Right.
Right? They don't go say, I'm going to go get a cigarette because I feel the best way I felt my whole entire life. I need a cigarette.
But I don't
They
know
don't say, I'm
sometimes
going to
with
go
the
smoke
drink, because a
weed.
lot of times when I drink, is a lot of times it be associated with celebration. Like the same way how you just broke it down, like when you go to the Dominican, you can drink and
Right,
you can
because you're
smoke.
trying to excel. You're trying to make something actually feel extra better.
Right.
You're trying to I can't think of the word that I'm trying to say, but you're trying to amp something up, basically.
Right. I'm turned up. Turned on for what? Like how many people?
Right.
Let's go get a drink to
That's a good
celebrate.
way to say it. You're trying to
But
turn up.
then, yes, but let's get a drink to celebrate. Or let me smoke.
But
It's
if you're
just
suicidal, you're not trying to turn that up. You're actually trying to calm that down.
okay.
That's why you drink. You're trying to drink so you forget your problems.
Yes. So it go both ways, right? Like, so you
But
can't
that's why I said
always
you
say
can't
that.
associate that with the intent to use those substances. That's not the point, because if you were suicidal, then you would drink to the excess of suicide.
And
You
sometimes
would
I don't
smoke
think
to the excess
initially,
of
sometimes that's
suicide.
what I'm saying is that I don't think that's the thought from the jump. Because a lot of
No,
times,
because
you can drink,
the thought was
you
I'm
can
trying
get
to
to
not
drinking
listen
and
to
do be
my mind
happy.
go over what the hurt is in my body. I'm trying to make my mind not think about the hurt that I'm going through.
Right.
All right, so let's see what else it says. It says substance use could increase the risk of suicidality. Oh, I never heard it that way. Risk of suicidality and mental health disorders, and the reverse can also be true. Just that's what you just said. The suicidality of human health disorders can increase the risk of using substances. Now that's true. But see, that's also saying there was an underlying condition that made you choose to use substances.
Right. All what you said.
Exactly.
All what you said.
While this study doesn't help to clarify the relationship between substances and mental health disorders, exactly, because you can't, because like I just said, there's always an underlying condition that makes you go to choose substances to tamp down those feelings of suicide thoughts. It's not the cause of the suicidal thoughts. It's not the substance that's going to be the cause of maybe heroin. Yes. Heroin might take you to the suicidal thoughts, but that's not a part of the study. You said, man, and that's the thing. They're trying to cloud this with using marijuana. That's why they put that in the middle versus being front and forward. And they're going to go with alcohol, marijuana.
That's what I say. And what was the case when it just was alcohol? Because I know a lot of people get the alcohol. That's
right, because you're not even talking about trying to ban alcohol, because that's not going to be a possibility, because ain't nobody in this country going to allow you to do that.
But that's what I used to be saying before even marijuana was legalized. Like, I ain't never seen nobody hurt nobody or hurt nobody. I mean, of course, with all things that we do, it comes with some type of effect. It's not, I don't care what you do. You know what I mean? If you drink too much water, it may have an effect on you in a certain way. So I get that. I understand from weed uses and how you use it and how long you smoke it and how you smoke it. And, I know it's different variations that affects how it affects you. But overall, in the long run,
So it says at the end of the survey that, the question is, what can parents do? It says one of the things it says that conversations around substance abuse can be tough to have. It's important to start early. As an expert, I don't agree. I don't think it should come from the parent to have this discussion. If you're going to do this, my suggestion would be not for it to come from a parent, because that's where rebellion happens. When stuff comes from parents about alcohol, drugs, and all that kind of stuff, that's when your child is going to rebel and do those things anyway. So my recommendation would be to actually find a resource center or some kind of group setting where your child can be amongst their peers and have somebody that's outside of your family or somebody that actually is a professional at this have the conversation. Because I don't want it shouldn't be a direct thing, like you putting them in front of, like they're being mandated to do something. It should be that you send them to a class, maybe like a 1 day class, 1 night class, because that's what I had when like I said, remember I was telling you about when I worked for the community center when I was a child, and I was in charge, but I was getting paid. We had those things where people would come in and talk to our people that came to our center, which was it was a recreation center, that would come and talk to the kids about drugs. Dare used to come out and talk to the kids about drugs. The McGruff the crime dog came out and talked to the kids about drugs. And, we had those kind of resources where it didn't have to be a parent, where children could freely ask questions and get the right answers. Like they brought this whole entire diagram where it had all of it had samples of all of the different, not that they was giving them to the kids, but they was like encased in glass, but it was a sample of how all of those drugs look. And every kid got a chance to go up and look at what it looks like, and then ask questions based on what those particular drugs did to the body and did to the people, and how those people's lives were affected. And then they brought in people that were ex-offenders, that are now in recovery, because actually at this same center at 9:00 at night, we had NA meetings, narcotics anonymous meetings, and a lot of their parents were there. They were former addicts, and they had to come. They came in and they was getting their 90-day chips and their 5-year chips and all that kind of stuff. But they were there. They were present. They were there. They were able to teach and educate their children on who not to become. Don't become like me. Don't be coming here that you have to come to an NA meeting every Wednesday so you can keep your sobriety.
Right.
It was tactic, but it was a good tactic at most to not create a new drug dealer or a new drug user.
Right. And that's why they say that even when you are in the midst of all of that, them NA meetings and stuff like that work. So you got people there constantly reminding you.
Yeah.
What it
And
is. And that's why when a person want to get high, they ain't going to the NA meetings.
Because it taught me that is not the road that I want to go down. I didn't want to become a drug dealer. Even though drugs were prevalent in my environment, it was not something that I wanted to become in my future. It wasn't something that was going to hold me back from I lost the word I was going to say. Perspiration. No, that's sweating. It's a P word. Prospering. Sorry, there it is.
There it goes.
I didn't want that to be something that was going to hold me back. And especially then, once I became an uncle, please.
What you
being a junkie was the farthest thing from my mind. I knew I wasn't having kids. All my life, I knew I wasn't having kids because no. But everybody else could have, I could be uncle and to them, but I wasn't doing it because because this is not the world for me to bring kids in. No. Oh, here goes another comment. Let me see what this one says. I can't see nothing if I don't have my glasses on. So I have to put it on the screen so I can see it. Yes, DARE. Yep, the DARE program. Yep. And it was as long as it was not my parent, because I believe me, I didn't want to hear anything about drugs from my mother. No.
What that stand for? Drug? What did it stand for?
Oh, drug awareness. What did
it? Something education.
Something education.
Drug awareness. Was it ready?
I'm looking it up now.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's a ton of programs.
It was drug abuse resistance education.
Oh, makes sense. Yeah, what happened to all of those programs?
McGruff the Crime Dog still is around. It's just not utilized to the public eye as much as it is. It's still because the police aren't as wanted in your circles anymore.
Because they don't do stuff like that. They don't do
a police publicity thing. So and now that they're not as wanted in the community anymore, he's kind of on the side.
That's because they don't do stuff like that, though.
Sure.
Like they don't do. That's what we was talking about.
We had two different,
like being in your community and being seen versus you just always showing up when something wrong.
Yeah,
that's why people associate you with that. It's no.
When I was younger, we had two different recreational centers. We had one that was ran by the Delta Sigma Theta sorority. That's the one I worked for. It was called the BCAC Baltimore County. I forgot what the meant. Baltimore County Alumni Chapter. So BCAC Community Center, which was ran in my complex.
And remember the PAL Center?
And then across the street from that, we had another center, which was called the Police Recreational Center, where the police had an agency that they ran in our community. That's where they did the DARE programs. That's exactly where they did the NA meetings and all that kind of stuff over there. And it was like the same situation where the kids could come in during the day, while after school, and come over there to use the computers and do their homework and things like that. And then they would come over to our center at 5:00, where we had snacks and you could do your homework. We had computers and all that kind of stuff. And we also had programs similar to that too. Now, the police center had a healthy education of having the kids be around police officers, get to know the police officers. Like I knew all the police officers in Baltimore County by name, especially from the Woodlawn district, because they stayed in our area and kept in constant communication with us. So when we got in trouble, they did. If we got in trouble, because all right, I got a story. We were playing hide and go seek in Kmart because that's what we thought the playground was. And so the Kmart ended up calling the police because we got a little bit too rowdy. They used to not bother us, but on this one particular day, they called the police. The police came and they took us to the Woodlawn precinct. But instead of reprimanding us and us getting in trouble, what they did was called our parents because they knew us. They knew us by name. And then they drove us when they called our parents and our parents was home, they drove us home. It wasn't like we got written up or, our fingerprints taken. We weren't arrested or anything like that. They just picked us up, took us to the precinct, called our parents, and then took us home because they knew us by name. That's what we're missing in our communities now. We don't know Officer Friendly down the street. But we know he'll hem us up and probably kill us if we get out of hand.
Okay, and don't even know our names till they do that.
Fear that we are always going to have ongoing. But we need to change that because we need to know, we need to know our police. It can't be militarized the way it is today. Because they're supposed to protect and serve us.
Yeah, it's so true.
Okay, she said New York and Connecticut still do it.
The police come to the schools.
schools.
Yeah, and see, the police here in the schools, but they just the school police. and they ain't even interacting with them.
Oh, shoot. Oh, this was a good show. This was a good show. I like this one, but we're out of time. I wasn't even paying attention to the time. I thank you guys for watching and listening because our conversations, they go deep and I love it. And this was another one of those shows where I did not plan it, and I love that. And I think I'm going to continue this format where the conversation just flows and just moves into each other. Like every conversation we talked about tonight, from E. Jean Carroll to Megan Thee Stallion to Donald Trump to just human nature, they all flowed into each other and was all a result of what? Human nature.
Okay.
We gotta correct.
You gave it a little bit. You better live vibes because I say it all comes in together, baby. That's how I have the thing. That's how I come with the title of the show. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. It just all fits and it all flows. Look.
Okay, I did put that on there.
The way it's supposed to be.
Tag this video with human nature. Yep, and I did. Good. Because that's what the whole conversation has to start to be about. It's how are we going to survive on this planet ongoing? Because we cannot continue to do it the way we're doing it. We have to change the way we operate, or we are not going to survive.
Right. Check yourself.
And that might sound so severe.
It's too many haters here. It's too many haters. Stop being a hater.
It is, and it's not necessary. Like all right, I'm gonna say this before we go. I was having a conversation, I think it was with you, on why Republicans call themselves conservatives. And it doesn't make sense that they do that, because what are you trying to conserve? It's not the money, because you're willing to pay that to do anything. So what are you conserving? You're not conserving food, or you would be giving it to the poor so they wouldn't be poor. What are you trying to conserve? Why do you consistently call yourself conservative? Do you not know what the word conservative means? It's part and part of to saving. You're trying to save for who? You only should be saving when you have taken care of everything, correct? Everything has been taken care of, everything has been fixed, everything has been sussed out. Then you start to save for the future, right? But you can't save amongst broken situations. That doesn't even make sense. Why would you be saving something to save for later when your shit is not together? So it's like you need to create the even playing field for everybody so we can then save for the future. So like the conversation on Social Security, you can't take the money that I'm trying to save for my future because I've got my shit together. So that money is being saved for me for when I retire. So why do you think you got the right to take that away from me now because it's not beneficial to you and your apparatus for saving? Because your apparatus for saving is totally different from mine. And I'm going to leave it right there, and we can continue that conversation next week in February, because it's not going to be Black History Month. Let's do it big.
Oh.
Okay.
It's black, it's black, it's black, it's black, it's black, it's black. Black.
All right, you guys. I thank you for listening. We got Chas'Real, the Lady Empress.
Just stop it.
That's the last part of it. She's gonna be here this.
I think it's intentional now, Monny.
I tried.
Never ever.
The Empress Lady CakeMix. I got it, Nick.
Okay. Okay.
She's gonna be here at 7 p.m. on You Better Leave this Thursday, right here
That's
on Big
right.
Post Media and Radio.
Right.
Good night.
Good night.